Hey, good morning and welcome to this Financial Fitness Friday. And we're going to talk about the financial health of our country. All right. I see a lot of people either very ignorant about what's going on right now or completely cheering it on. And I'm shocked that people aren't more mad. So let's just back up a little bit. Our country has been spending way, way, way more money than it's been taking in, right? A lot of spending waste, and a lot of it is it's going to turn out to be fraud, right? It's politicians funding projects that don't exist only to funnel the money back into their own pockets, right? So they have effectively been taxing us to death and stealing the money, right? And now we have the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge or Dodge, whatever you guys want to call it, all right, that is going through. And by the way, guys, they put everything on their website, so all the receipts are up there. I have it up on a different tab, and they're uncovering all this corruption in real time, right? And so now we're seeing where all some of the money is going. And yes, there are sometimes you have to connect the dots. So if you see like 2 billion that was awarded to a nonprofit, and then you see Stacey Abrams is the managing director or owner of that. Okay, you have to be able to read in between the lines and figure out what's going on, right? And so this is all getting exposed in real time right now. And the whole point of this is to cut the government spending. And we always talk about saving, investing, and not spending as much as you make. Well, our government has worked the opposite for probably the last 50 years. Okay. Actually, probably way longer than that. All right. And so now Elon and his team are going through it and exposing it all. And people are getting mad, but they're getting mad because he's doing it. Instead of getting mad that you have been being robbed and lied to your entire life, instead of all the propaganda that we have been exposed to for who knows how long, we actually paid for, right? So we have been paying for our own destruction. And people, in my opinion, people aren't mad enough. I think people should be demand. Like, I want to see where are the arrests. Like, now that we're finding all this stuff out, why are we not seeing people arrested? Why are we not seeing people tried for treason? Okay, that's the only thing that's going to stop this. Dave, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. 100%. I agree with everything you're saying. And I think it's a good thing, obviously, without a doubt. You got to be living under a rock if you don't. But to touch on a couple of things that I think people aren't paying attention to, and let's go back. We talk about it all the time, right? Like Americans in general, either we're lazy, right? Instant gratification. Well, guess what? It comes to the same thing. So it's either two things. It's either your team, right? You want to be in denial, which it seems like a lot of people are. People voted for this, man. Plain and simple, right? So what's the problem? Like, obviously, the country wants this, the country needs it, and you're going to have a handful of people that are going to be loud and whine, bitch, and moan about it. That's number one. But the second thing, people are just going to read whatever they're fed, not look between the lines. Again, that lazy instant gratification mentality. Headline: President Musk does this, and this. And then they're not going to click further. They're not going to look, or they're going to look at the subject matter underneath. Elon did this, and this as he's sitting in the Oval Office with his kid.
Yeah, they're cutting Social Security. No, they're cutting Social Security to the people who never should have had it in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay. So, like, dude, like, here's the thing. Like, this is insane to me. I can't believe someone would. It's insane to me that people are getting upset. And what's even crazier is the politicians are telling on themselves, right? Like, the politicians that have been on the take, the ones that no one wanted, but we funded through U.S. aid. Okay, they're the ones kicking and screaming right now, saying, "Hey, they're making up these lies and they're calling for violence." Okay, these people are not equipped for it. Number one. Number two. Okay, it shouldn't be that. You should be very grateful that all this corruption is being exposed. And not only that, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, right? Because they're stealing from all of us. So my point in saying that is, people should be demanding arrests and demanding accountability. And I think to go like a step further, right? They're talking about getting a $5,000 rebate from Dodge for all this. I don't want the fucking rebate. Okay. You know what I want? I don't want to pay taxes ever again, because you've already shown and demonstrated that you cannot be trusted with the tax money. Okay. So why don't you reduce taxes or lower taxes or eliminate taxes altogether? Raise the money for the tariffs. And what you'll see this economy go ballistic. It will grow so fast. All right. Because you're basically giving everybody a 30 or 40% raise. All right. Think about this. The DeSantis is talking about, and I don't know if it has any legs yet, they're talking about getting rid of property taxes. Well, if they get rid of property taxes in Florida, do you know I get like a $20,000 a year increase in what I retain? That's fucking huge. Okay. So it's things like that. You don't need to tax me every single year. I bought the property, right? You take tax out of everything else. Leave some shit alone. Okay. And it's crazy because I'll tell you this, I'm going and I'm considering buying in a different country right now, right? Like a really nice vacation home. And you know how they do their tax? You pay like 6.5% of the purchase price, and then you're done. Like you never get taxed again, and you own that for life. Crazy. All right. So, and that's not like a developed country, right? We're talking about Belize. It's in Central America. So if they can do it, I'm sure we can do it and we'll be just fine.
President Shine Barrow. That's a heck of a place to go, right?
Yeah, dude. So, but my point is this: why are we not actually calling for accountability?
Well, here's something I want to add to that. A couple things. I think we forget too, because there's just so much happening. I think it's been 31 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, there's a lot of that's a lot of movement for 31 days. Compare that to the last 4 years. So that 31 days actually kind of feels like 4 years, right? Like if you notice. So to move lightning quick, I believe there will be accountability. And look, you have to understand that legal process too. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the FBI handles all that stuff. So now that cash is in
that makes sense.
So now this kind of falls on him. You know what I mean? So like, what's next, buddy? Is it going to be cash rules everything around me, right? Cream, get the money, or get the criminals, right? Dollar bills, y'all.
How about that list? I'd like to see that Epstein list.
Well, it might be coming out today. So,
well, I'm going to tell you, when it comes out, I definitely think some shit's going to go down.
Well,
in a bad way, dude. I mean that. I think that they should arrest everybody, right? That they're going to arrest and then drop the list. Otherwise, you have a potential for absolute catastrophe and chaos.
Yeah, I think when you're seeing a lot of the shit get exposed in a short amount of time, it's starting to give you a little bit of impatience, and it's like,
yes,
hey, man, what are we doing here? Like, where's the rest of it? Okay, great, we got it. It's exposed, but where is the accountability? Yep. And I think it's going to come. I think yes, this whole thing needs to be wrecked and rebuilt, hands down. But you still have to do it in a proper manner, because you got to set that precedent and that standard moving forward.
Correct, 100%. And here's what I'm going to say too. This is not a left-right thing, okay? The more I watch everything, you realize it's the same bird, okay? Two different wings, same bird. So when this stuff starts coming out, okay, I will definitely lose respect for a lot of the people on the right if you are not holding your group of criminals accountable too, okay? This is not a one-party thing. It is very clear that you have people on both sides of the aisle that have been doing this for many years, and it is time for accountability. Yeah. And then here's the best part of this, right? When everything, like them eliminating taxes, if they wind up going that route, that'll be the best thing that they can do, and you'll see a boom. Even without that, okay, once all these changes get come into play, and once they stop spending like this, okay, frivolously, what you're going to see is you're going to see the dollar get stronger. You're going to see our economy get stronger. And you're going to see a lot more of the money that the government is raising going where it should go. Okay. Which means we'll have better infrastructure, better schools, better economy. This will absolutely help a lot of people. Okay. Because everyone will have a much better place to produce from. All right. You're basically refertilizing the soil in which you are going to grow. Okay.
Yeah.
And by us doing this, if everyone jumps on board, everyone demands accountability, everyone starts working together. Okay. We're going to see just the best times this country has ever seen.
Yeah. And I think even just as equally important, man, like, you want the federal government out of your life as much as possible, right? Like,
Yeah.
let the states handle their own thing, let the local. But, I think we also need to realize what's the trickle down effect that it is going to have on some of these states that are out of control and out of touch with society, especially like California or New York. What's that going to start pushing them to do? And then on the local side of things too, so the trickle down effect, man, it's impatient as some of us are, me included. Like I think the best is still yet to come, as long as accountability is held.
Dude, I agree. I agree 100%. All right. So I want to read you guys some of the stuff on the Doge.gov website. Okay.
Here we go.
24, there were 4.6 million active credit cards. They processed 90 million unique transactions for a total of 40 billion. Okay. That's all the credit cards from the government. That's fucking crazy. Okay. That's all of these different departments. Now, there's a bunch of other crazy ones. So all the COVID relief funds, okay, that
hold on a second. So that's making me wonder just from a credit standpoint, and they're obviously holding balances and stuff. So I'm going to assume that they're adding those numbers to the credit card problem too, right?
Probably. Yeah, it has to. That has to be on there. Okay, but still, I'm not going to minimize the credit card debt problem that this country has. Yeah, that's minimizing it. I wouldn't minimize it because I know a lot of people that are jammed up. I deal with it every day. We do so many term loans for people that need to pay off and pay down their credit cards. It's crazy. Here's another great one. So the COVID relief funds that the schools got, okay, 200 billion. I'm just going to pull out some great ones. Almost 400,000 to rent out a Major League Baseball stadium. 86,000 in Caesars Palace hotel rooms. 60,000 in swimming pool passes, and even an ice cream truck. No documentation for any of this. They had to just trace the money. Okay. Okay, this is a great one. A Webster School building in DC. Okay. We bought it. It was acquired via condemnation in 2003. Okay. They never did anything with this building. It remained boarded up. And now there's 24 million in deferred maintenance and liabilities. That's crazy. You could have just sold it. Okay. Like, it's things like this in every little part of the government that is creating these problems. Right. And so being able to backtrack and being able to fix these things and make it so it can't happen and make it transparent, that's in everybody's benefit. Okay. It's in the little guy's benefit. It's in the crazy lady with the purple fucking hair's benefit. Okay. Even though she doesn't want to realize it. And you know what? It's going to help us all. So everyone needs to get on board. And honestly, you guys should be really fucking pissed. Think about it. If I added up all the money I paid in taxes, okay, from property taxes, just in the last 5 years, in payroll taxes, in income tax, in federal tax, in fucking property tax, okay, it's a lot. And I got to tell you, my life would be markedly better with that in my pocket and not the government's. And you know what? I probably would have been able to hire another 10 people. All right. So I would have been able to provide jobs for 10 to another 15 people at a minimum with that type of money that I was paying in taxes each year. Do you know how much that stimulates the economy? And I would have done it too, because it's in my interest as well. right? So a lot of you guys that are arguing right or left, this is not a right or left issue. This is an everybody issue.
I think I think it will eventually catch up, man, to where people, they'll just submit. You know what I mean? Like go back to COVID when people are in denial, everything else, the juice, all that other shit, and then people just started coming on. But this is gonna have the same effect. It's gonna have to. It's gonna end up getting so massive unless the media is that deeply complicit in something, right? Because you don't know yet. You don't know how deep that goes.
Yeah.
If they are, what are they going to talk about then? You know what I mean? Like they're going to have to save their own ass and to save their own whatever little credibility they have left. They're going to have to jump on board eventually if it goes that deep, unless they have some crazy type of involvement that we don't even know about yet. So I think it's just people will eventually get pissed, and then that's when the real shit hits the fan starts, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, guys, you heard it here. All right. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. I hope this helped you, and have a great day, great rest of your week.
Be great, y'all.